Hey everybody, just checking in with you. Things are a little different this week. Actually, it's exciting because I'm able to tell you that as restrictions are being lifted, we are able to begin worshiping together again in our sanctuary. Now there are limitations on that, and I'll be talking to you about that in this video. But right now I just wanted to share our excitement at being able to come back together for worship in our sanctuary, and then I'm going to walk you through the process and let you know how things are going to be a little bit different. But I do want to say, if you are not feeling well, if you have any symptoms of COVID-19 or other illness, we do want you to stay home. And if you have any of those restrictions, either because of your age group or the health that you're in, underlying conditions that put you at higher risk, then we want you to really be encouraged to stay home. We're going to continue to provide online worship services, and that's going to be live streamed now from our actual worship in the sanctuary. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit more about that as well. But for now, we're just excited, and I'm going to walk you through the process, and we're going to start out in the parking lot. I'll see you there. So when you arrive on campus and you park, one of the things you want to do is try to leave a space between your car and the car next to you. We've got plenty of spots, that will facilitate distancing, and that's a good time for you to put on your mask as soon as you get out of the car. And then you'll proceed over to one of our check-in stations. Now, this is an important thing. We're going to be asking you if you've had any symptoms of COVID, if you're feeling well today, and then we're going to take your temperature, and anyone that is unfortunately exhibiting illness or has a fever, we're going to ask to go back home and worship online. We'll also be reminding you that it's important to wear your mask throughout the service, and I'll talk to you about that a little bit more as we get going. And if you have sanitizer with you, use that frequently, but we will have sanitizing stations and sanitizer available for you if you need that. So why don't we go ahead and we'll go inside, and I'll talk to you more about what you're going to see there. And then as you enter into the narthex or the lobby, the first place that you'll see is our supply table. And it's got a number of things that you might be interested in. First, we encourage online giving, and there's a place where you can see the QR code if you want to do that from your phone. But if you do have an envelope and you want to drop that off, you can do it in a no-touch way into this receptacle. And if you need an envelope, ask the attendant, and they'll be able to give you one of these, and a clean pen or instrument to write with. It's also a number of items that you can ask. If you didn't get last month's Portals of Prayer, and also the ones that are upcoming, you can ask about that. We've got a variety. Any of our printed material in the lobby is not going to be self-serve for a limited time. So if you don't see something you want, just ask and we can get that for you. Also for our children, instead of having our reusable pew pouches, we've prepared bags that will keep them occupied with crayons and stickers and activities that they can take and do with them, and then take home with them in this container. So that's what these are for. Just ask the attendant for that. And then you'll be able to move into the sanctuary. Now what I want you to notice is that our doors are open, as well as our outside doors, and all the air conditioners and heating units are going to be off. The best information that we have is that the natural air moving through is the best for everybody involved, and so we're going to have all our doors open. But we ask that you only enter through the main entrance. The other doors that are around will be open for airflow and can be used for exits, but not for entrance, because we want everybody to come through this point of entry. And then we'll move into the sanctuary, and I'll talk to you more about what you're going to find there. Now, for the entire time that you're on campus, we want you to observe that 6 feet of social distancing. That's very important, and it's really important for inside of our sanctuary, because even though we are allowed to have up to 100 in this space, that's only if we can maintain social distancing. So we want you to make sure that there's space between you and other people from other families. Of course, families in your household, people from your household and your family can sit next to each other. But beyond that, we need to maintain that social distancing. And so one way that we're doing that is we're closing off every other pew. You'll see signs like this. Jesus sat the 5,000 down in rows, but not this one. So we want you to move on to another pew, because our pews just so happen to be 3 feet apart. So if we don't use every other pew, then that will automatically put you 6 feet from the people in front of you. And then what we'll do is in between services, we'll clean and we'll switch the rows that are being used so that the 10:45 service gets a brand new set of rows that haven't been used. And what we've done to help you, we're not trying to tell you where you can't sit, but we do want to make sure that you have at least 2 3-foot sections between you and another party. And so we've got markings on the seat that are spaced every 3 feet, and will help you judge for yourself where you want to sit and how many are in your group. So we just want you to maintain that distancing, and we've got lots of room, so we hope we'll see you on Sunday. And so our ushers, at the time of the service when we have communion, our ushers will be releasing people by groups and by rows in a way that they won't have to cross over or commingle with other worshipers. So what will happen is we will be serving the bread and the wine. We'll also have gluten-free and non-alcoholic elements available for you, but we will be serving them in individual containers. Myself and an elder will be wearing masks and gloves, and I will assess the number of people coming in their family group. So maybe there's 3 people, and I will set 3 cups with wafers down, and I'll be able to stand back, and then people will move forward and consume the elements with their masks down. Then they'll move on to the station where the elder will be distributing the wine, and they'll have a place where they can deposit their waste containers after they're done. And what we're going to do in order to facilitate having shorter services is people will leave right from communion, go outside the exit here, and directly to their cars. We know that that is not typical, but remember, this is our first Sunday back, and we're opening cautiously and following the rules and the guidelines, which really encourage us not to have a lot of movement around our space, or for people to stay and interact for a very long time. So we'll move directly out after communion, and then we'll look forward to seeing you again next Sunday. So that gives you an idea a little bit what worship is going to be like. I also want to let you know that we've removed things that are reusable from the pews, so there's not going to be any hymnals in there, or Bibles, or offering envelopes. We're also not going to be passing out any bulletins or connection cards or sermon notes for the time being. Everything you need for the service is going to be on the screen or available online. So just want to let you know about that. Also, a number of our other activities that would happen on campus on Sunday morning, such as our refreshments and our Sunday school and our adult and youth Bible studies, those are not going to be happening for the near future until we find out more how our community is responding to the virus and as the government begins to give us more guidelines. So for now, you can expect that we're not going to be doing those things. And so it is kind of funny when you think about all the things it seems like we can't do. We can't sit too close. We can't shake hands. We have to wear masks. We don't have hymnals. We don't have bulletins. We don't have. It's a kind of a lot of negativity. And so that's probably a great time for us to be starting our brand new message series this Sunday called Stay Positive. And the idea is that in a world of negativity, how can we be optimistic? How can we have hope? How can we be positive? And I just want to say optimism isn't a denial of reality. It's not even just blind faith. It's a confidence in the God that we know. And so I'm going to be looking a lot this coming week at a section of scripture from Romans chapter 8. And you may have heard this verse before, but this is a good time to hear it. Simply says that we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose. So you and I can have hope even in the face of negativity. We can be positive and optimistic even though things are maybe not like we like, and certainly in our world today, not necessarily going in what we think is the direction we would like to see. So I'm going to be talking more about that for sure this Sunday. So I hope to see you either here on site or online. In the meantime, have a great week and God bless you.